healthy wave infrared PEMF mats and knockoff infrared PEMF mats. How well do these imitations really stack up against healthy wave? Since we originally released the first infrared PEMF mats in 2016, they have become increasingly popular. In fact, so popular, many factories in China have started creating cheaper knockoffs that allow other companies to private label, then sell their own brand of infrared PEMF mats. So if you search for infrared PEMF mats, you now come across dozens of different brands, all claiming to have comparable mats. But is this really true? Are you getting the same quality? And are even the features advertised in these mats even accurate? Well, to test this, I ordered one of these knockoff infrared PEMF mats directly from AliExpress, which cost me a little bit over $300 after paying for import duties, and have done some extensive testing on it. And the results may shock you, so make sure to watch this entire video. If you're familiar with manufacturing in China, you know there are 3 different qualities you can get. The high quality of products like the Apple iPhone, for example. 2, the mid-range quality products, which are cheaper but still alright. And 3, the low quality products, which may look similar but are made of cheaper, poorer quality materials. These are the products you typically want to avoid as they tend to have a lot of problems. Not everything that comes out of China is bad though. In fact, we manufacture our mats in China, but we use high quality factories. Some are actually even next door to the factories that manufacture the Apple iPhone, for example. But if you see infrared PEMF mats at prices that seem too good to be true, there's probably a reason for that. And as we found from our testing, these imitations don't even make the cut due to some big problems, which I'll show you now with our testing. So the first thing we're going to be testing is for the EMF-free infrared wiring. Now, while the PEMF is a type of EMF that we are purposely pulsing, we want to make sure that the other aspects of the mat, such as the infrared heat, aren't creating any unwanted EMF, since this will interfere with our PEMF therapy and we're getting an unintended EMF that may not be beneficial. Most good quality infrared mats should have this solved. When I did look basically in buying this mat, they did advertise it as EMF-free wiring, but that's not the case, as I'll show you. So we're going to test this in 2 ways. I first have the oscilloscope, which is going to actually show our waveforms which are happening, which we can pick up EMFs and the PEMF later, which will be quite interesting, and also just with our basic Gauss meter here. So let's first of all turn on our healthy wave. Let's turn on the temperature, and you can see we have the temperature. Let's make sure it's going to be heating up, so we're heating up, and we turn on our Gauss meter. And you can see basically there's no reading anywhere. We can go all over, completely EMF free. And also we can test this with our oscilloscope here, and we can go along here and you can see there's no different waveforms other than the existing background that we were already seeing before. So let's turn this off, move this meter over here, still on the settings. And now let's turn on our other mat. Now you might have seen a lot of mats with this type of similar controller here. Now I can't say everyone is going to have all these problems, but this mat definitely did. So let's turn this on, and you can see there, basically because the heating elements are on and they're heating up, it's creating this big EMF. So this is a big unwanted EMF we're getting off of this mat. And more interesting, if we put our sensor on it, you can actually see we're picking up the frequency from that 60 Hertz EMF. So they claim to basically be EMF free, and as you can clearly see, they are not in any way. So next we're going to test the PEMF. So basically they do get some of the PEMF correct here, but I'm going to show the issues of having these EMFs in the background on the PEMF, and also a few of their PEMF settings which actually aren't PEMF at all. So right now this is because the heat's on and it's basically creating the EMF. If we were to put it down so it stops heating, you'll see it goes away and we aren't getting that bad EMF anymore. Now let's turn on the PEMF therapy. So let's actually go to program 1 here so you can see it a little bit clearer, maybe program 2. And you can see here, these are the pulses from the PEMF. And what we're seeing here is good PEMF, but the problem is when if you're using the infrared feature at the same time here, let's turn that on so it starts heating, you can see now we're actually getting that EMF in the background interfering with our PEMF therapy. So if you're using the infrared and PEMF on this mat at the same time, you actually aren't getting a good quality PEMF therapy anymore because of this EMF field that's overlapping on the PEMF. Another interesting thing I found on this mat here, I'll just turn off the infrared heat, is they advertise they have 56 hertz and a 64 hertz setting. So let's go to those modes now. You can see we can slowly go up, still PMF here, though we might want to zoom in on the time here a little bit. You can see here we're still getting PMF, separate forms. Let's also put up the range so we can see it. So you can see there is PMF waves happening. We go a little bit higher, mode 6 here. This is 48 hertz. We still have a pause going. But when we get to the next one, you can see this is actually now just a continuous sine wave here. There's actually no pulsing going at all, on at all. There are these other little jagged spikes occurring, but we should be seeing some pauses occurring. So what they're advertising as 56 hertz here is just a 56 hertz EMF, and is actually no PMF occurring at all. And that's the same thing that occurs if we go to the next setting as well. We go to mode 8 here. It says 64 hertz. You can see 64, and we're just getting a continuous sine wave. There is no PMF. We should be getting some pulsing going on, which we're not. So with this controller here, along with having not EMF free, which can interfere if you're using the infrared setting, two of their different PMF settings are not actually PMFs at all and are just creating EMF fields. So for our final test, we'll test the negative ions. So I've heated up the knockoff infrared PEMF mat to its max temperature. So this should be giving us a really good negative ion count. And we have our negative ion counter set up, and you will see it fluctuating around. We did get up to about a peak of about 1,500 negative ions, but typically we're fluctuating below that, which isn't very good. And you can see the mat is heated up. This could be for a lot of reasons. Just be poor quality crystals, bad crystal combinations. Either way, what you're getting from these imitation and knockoff mats is not the good quality negative ions like I'm about to show you that you get from the Healthy Wave mat. So we move over our meter to the Healthy Wave mat, and you can see as soon as we get into negative ion field, we start getting a much better negative ion reading. Now these readings will fluctuate up and down a little bit, but just watch it to see about the average you get. As you can see right now on the low side, we're really only dropping to about 1,500 negative ions or a little bit lower, but then we're also starting now to push above 2,000 negative ions. And you can see the mat still heated up almost at 40 degrees. Wasn't even as hot as the knockoff infrared PEMF mat, and a lot of the time here we're actually peaking over 3,000 negative ions. So you can see there's a very big significant difference in the Healthy Wave mat compared to the imitation infrared PEMF mat. And this is because we use high quality gemstones and better quality materials compared to these poor quality knockoffs. So if you're looking at getting a multi-therapy infrared PEMF mat, make the smart choice and stick with Healthy Wave. You're getting a much better quality product, EMF-free, proper PEMF therapy, more negative ions, and from a company who understands how these therapies work. As a bonus for watching this video, I'm going to give you a 10% discount coupon you can use at healthywavemat.com, HLMAT10. This way, if you're concerned about the price, it'll help you out. I'm sure not every other infrared PEMF mat out there has these problems, but probably a lot of them do, at least if they're coming from the same factory that I got this mat from. With Healthy Wave, you have complete assurance you're getting what you pay for. We post videos showing our testing, so you know exactly what you're getting. If you're not seeing videos showing EMF-free infrared heating, don't believe it. The infrared PEMF mat I bought from AliExpress claimed to have EMF-free wiring as well. Plus, with Healthy Wave mats, our PEMF technology is much more advanced. Most of these imitations have far less PEMF settings than even our classic 5-therapy Healthy Wave mats. And as I showed you, some of the settings weren't even accurate in the PEMF at all. And if you really want a more advanced PEMF therapy technology, check out our Mutli-wave 5-therapy mats. They really take PEMF to the next level. Watch our video review on it and read about it at healthywavemat.com. Additionally, we have a 90-day trial period and a 5-year limited warranty, so you can't go wrong choosing a Healthy Wave mat.